caller that's been on the line for a long time, very deep brother. We have H. Reed from New Jersey. Welcome to the show, H. Reed.
What's going on, ladies? How you doing?
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
What's up?
So, what's going on, bruh?
What's happening, big time?
First, I want to say this. I'm married to a beautiful woman who just happens to be light-skinned with natural green eyes. Now, before getting to her, it was like a bag of Skittles. I've tasted the rainbow.
All right.
All right. I mean, matter of fact, the woman that I left to be with my wife could actually leave fingerprints on charcoal, but she also was
Wow.
That's a little offensive.
That's a little dark.
She was beautiful.
All right.
Just happened to be dark skinned. See, and what I had to say goes a lot along with what Zoe was saying earlier. This whole light dark issue is about both self-love and self-hate, because everyone is entitled to their preferences, but you got to check when you're getting involved with a person, what's the source of their preferences? Why are they liking you? Not so much why do you want them, but why are they liking you? Because reality is, and we all know this as people of color, no matter how you shape it, we've been bred to be divisive since the plantation.
That's right.
Okay?
Willie Lynch, come on.
We've had how many of you have had parents or relatives, aunts, uncles who've said things like good black don't crack, or if they can't use your comb, don't
bring her home.
That's right. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned,
So mean.
it really doesn't matter how light or dark you are, because everybody black when you turn off the lights.
It's that.
There it is. Thank you, H.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, they cut him off?
If I could just piggyback just a little bit, beauty is an internal movement. Beauty is an internal movement. It's not an external movement.
That's right.
I mean,
you're an enlightened brother, so a lot of guys don't feel that way. A lot of guys are really basing it off, okay, how long your hair is and how full your lips are.
And that's the guy you avoid.
However, but there's so many of those guys around. There's a lot of people that are like sheep right now. There's not a lot of guys that are individual, like thinking on their own, independently.
But you can't settle. A lot of times you women, you settle.
No, that's why we're all single.
Except me. I'm not single. I'm married.
But a lot of times I find that women settle.
Right.
I'm going to deal with the best I can deal with right now.
They figure that's the best they can do.
And my thing is,
I did that once. I dated someone that wasn't a first rounder, and I really settled. I went, first rounder. You know what? I'm gonna like go ahead and what's the first rounder?
First round draft pick. Come on.
Okay, wait. Let's help Shelly. Let's catch her up.
Slow it down.
Like not as a premier athlete, but maybe a secondary.
First
it was actually a joke.
Use big letters.
This is a joke.
The joke's gone. The moment's gone.
Okay. All right, let's go to our caller, Lamont from Tampa, and he did a great job with our MySpace page. Check him out if you need some graphic work done.
What's up, lady?
I remember you dating a white woman that was very crazy.
Yeah. That was the first and the last.
And you're very... now, Lamont is a really dark brother. He looks a lot like
brown-skinned boy.
Casey from Jodeci.
Wow. I don't...
Oh, yeah.
That's my job, Lamont. Okay, Lamont, let's hear your comment.
But see, I've like all of my life, you know, like until I was about 26, I was one of them brothers. Like I'll only date, you know, black women. I'll never date out my race. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with my mother when she was basically put it down to me, like, you know, because she saw the things I was going through in my relationship. She was like, you know, I'm not against you dating outside your race or having light-skinned babies and that kind of thing. So I broadened my horizon. But like for the past 2 years since I've been living down here, it's been really a trip. How many girls just will not talk to me because of my skin complexion. Like I get that immediate stereotype until I say something out of my mouth. But I get that immediate stereotype, and it's really upsetting when you see somebody you like or somebody that you're into, and then they just won't date you because of your race.
Lamont, so they're prejudiced against you because you're dark skinned. That's really sad.
That's her voice trying to be concerned.
Damn,
Claudia Jordan.
This bothers me.
I have a question though, Lamont. Being that you are dark skinned, have you ever dated anyone that was equally dark skinned, or have you always
my first girlfriend was the same complexion as me. I have no preference. Well, I might not date an Indian chick just because I don't like the smell of their food or whatever.
Yes, I understand what you are saying. I understand.
Little curry. You don't want the curry.
Little bit of curry.
He doesn't like curry coochie.
Just a little bit of B.O.
I love Indian food, personally.
Shout out to Tandoori. Indians are sexy.
I'm at a fine.
Sorry.
Little, anyway.
Thank you,
Indian
Lamont.
girls
All right, thank you. I want to share a quick story with you guys.
Yes.
A lot of dark-skinned people, like guys or women, they're family because their family, a lot of pressure from them. I have a lot of friends back home that are brown skin and like from the Cape Verdean Islands, which is a mix of Portuguese and black. But when they move to the United States, what they want to do is they want to be as white as they can. They think white is right. So a lot of my friend also, she had a lot of pressure from her family and some of my other friends, Janine. Shout out to them. Their moms probably not listening right now. No, but they had a lot of pressure on them to find a nice white American boy.
Wow.
You know, to try to bring them closer and closer to like lighten up the next generation of babies. I think that's really, really sad. It's teaching them self-hate, teaching them what they are is not good enough, and that white is better. My own aunt was very racist against me. She said I used to like stare at Ebony magazines, and I used to think the women were so beautiful, like the models. And I was like 10 years old at the time. This stayed with me my whole life, and it made me like not think I was pretty for a very long time. She was like, you know, I see you looking at that magazine. She's like, you know, maybe you'll get pretty one day once you get some color.
Wow.
So I never thought I was pretty, and my mom made me get in a pageant. I'm like, why? I'm just gonna lose and waste your money. She's like, what? And then I won, but it was just like I really did not. And I know people say this all the time. I was a tomboy. I didn't think I was pretty, but I really did not think I was attractive because if your own aunt, family members are telling you this that you're not attractive, then why would you believe otherwise? You think, you know, those are the people that tell you when you're ugly and cross-eyed. Oh, my baby's beautiful. You're still a winner. But my aunt, and that stayed with me for a very long time. And then I would try to date guys that were dark. I want that.
Wow.
Like I would have the opposite thing, like staying away from the really, really light skin because I'm like I don't want to have a clear baby.
Clear. She's gonna be clear.
Translucent.
Shout out to the albinos out there.
No, but you know what? The fear of the black man, I mean, it's not new. It's not just an American situation. It's a world situation. And it goes back to the stolen history, the lost history, and it's only lost here. Black man go in any other part of the world, he's loved, he's adored, you know. Now, part of our history was when we were the Moors. And a lot of times during our Moorish rule, the Moors took over all of Europe. All of it.
That's why my Italian mother has nappy hair.
Right. There's an Italian guy I play ball with every Saturday, and he's dark. He's darker than I am, but he's Italian. And I say, what's your ethnicity? He says, I'm Italian. I said, not your nationality, your ethnicity.
Right.
And the people get that mixed up.
Right.
And then I said, you know, you're a black man. No, I'm Italian. No.
Right.
And then he said, well, I'm black from the waist down.
Well, not
every time he'll claim being black.
not the Italian that I dated. Anyway,
We got a caller. We got a caller. We got Tony from Seattle. Welcome, Tony.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hey.
Love the show. I'm a married man, and my wife is African American. So first and foremost, I know she's listening. I want to say that I prefer her.
Right.
Yeah, clean it up.
I have two young boys who are at the total opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to the women that they date. And one prefers light skin to white, and the other one really doesn't care. He will not do white, but he will do everything else, everyone else. I would say, and it's kind of weird because we come from a family, and in our household, I'm not saying that we preach don't go outside the race, but we're definitely a pro-black family, and that's how we raise our kids. But now we as my sons are getting older, we get to see that there is a big difference between, you know, the thing in the house is, ooh, she's a dime piece, and what one thinks is a dime piece compared to the other. You know, so it's kind of hard. I mean, as a parent, especially because I have a daughter who's definitely again pro-black, and all the young men that she dates is again from light to dark skin as well. So.
It doesn't sound like you have a problem. It actually sounds like you have a nice mix in your house. Like they're going for what they prefer. It's not like they're both. If they were both going for like against their race, I would think that there's maybe some issues there. But it seems like they're just going with what they
like. Yeah.
Right. What they like.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate it. Okay, we have so much more to talk about when we come back after the break. We're going to talk about some famous interracial couples and relationships.
Lightning round, maybe? Some
stats. A lightning round, of course, and. Taking more of your calls, 877-2-106-106. We're talking about shades of love, color, and your relationships and your preferences. Give us a call. More with the Pigeons and Zoe Williams and myself after the break.
Claudia.